The 12 Days of Fluffenmass. Tales of festive grimness and dark festival. The Night Before KRYPTMAN. Written and read by A.D. Nickel. The screen glowed in the darkness, each blip unassuming, but showing a disconcerting pattern. Leviathan was coming. Each blip showed a mass of bioships, a tendril of the Hive Fleet as it consumed everything and all in its path, tearing through defenses, devouring each wall that the troopers and tanks of the Imperium stood before it. Leviathan was coming. A mass like a cosmic snowstorm, each flake in the blizzard, 1,000 hungry mouths that cared of naught but to rip flesh from bone, to drag the matter back to biopits, for breakdown, for study, and for use in both nutrition and mutation. Leviathan was coming. The Tyranids were like nothing the Inquisitor had ever experienced before. From the assassin creature of Kendrick's world to the gene-stealers of Mgal, and those creations from other spheres not yet named, not to mention the sheer astonishing level of destruction, nay, reduction, of biomatter on Tyran. The Inquisitor could not imagine anything, including the ever-present threat of chaos, that could ever form as much of a threat to mankind's existence as the oncoming Hive Fleet. A ping sounded from the Vox. The readout registered it as originating from the channel of his personal servitor. He flicked it off, ignoring it. He sat on the command chair, tasting the order as it raged and burned within his throat. He knew what he must do this night, but even with the knowledge of why it must be done, he struggled. He knew that his loyal servants and allied Deathwatch would follow his orders, no matter what they may think of him. But yet, the responsibility weighed heavily upon him. For the trillions of lives, not the millions. This was his creed. This was his purpose. A few souls against the entirety of the Imperium. But even so, he knew that he had lied to Lord Admiral Tiberius, and once more to Captain Ventress of the Ultramarines, in order to get this far. He knew that their trust and their support had allowed him to push forward despite their misgivings. He could, indeed, follow the plan in place. He could use the hydrogen plasma refinery placed around orbit as he was meant to do, as he was ordered to do. But he knew in the very bowels of his gut there was but one way, and only one, to stop this advance. He knew also that the Death Watch that followed his command agreed and knew this. The ping sounded again. What did that servitor want? The flesh and cable golem was pre-programmed to send reminders or to send messages. Could it be that the fleet, or even the Ultramarines, had caught wind of this betrayal? No. He ignored it yet again. But what of the people of Cordelis? Did the people of Cordelis deserve this? Did they deserve to know beforehand? Should he give them warning, tell them to leave? There wasn't enough time. There was never enough time. Leviathan was coming. Reaching over to the Vox mic, he uttered the command, and hoped it would not damn him entirely.
In fealty of the God Emperor, our undying Lord, and by the grace of the Golden Throne, I declare exterminatus on the imperial world of Cordelis. I hereby sign the death warrant of an entire world, and consign 1 billion souls to oblivion. May the imperial justice account in all balance. The Emperor protects.
The virus bomb missiles streaked away from the sainted night, flying true into the atmosphere. Moments later, multiple massive explosions over the high-populated areas of the planet bloomed, the first part of the destruction of all life upon its surface. Upon the first detonation, which itself would cause mass destruction, the Life-Eater virus would begin to break down all biomatter, leaving Cordelis an uninhabitable desert. Next would come the Lance Strike, which would burn the atmosphere into a broiling firestorm, burning away oxygen, and finally leaving it a lifeless rock that hung and fell through space, with no memory of the populace that it once held. The death of the entire world took less than 3 standard hours. Inquisitor KRYPTMAN let out a shuddering sigh, and turned back to the reports that had started to come in. The rage-filled missives from the Ultramarines had begun, and the Lord Admiral was pinging for direct and immediate communication and explanation. No matter. The Great Devourer would starve, and the Imperium would have more time to pull together responding forces. Billions died to save trillions. Leviathan would slow. The Vox crackled.
"Sainted Candlemas, Inquisitor KRYPTMAN,"
came the voice of his servitor, in its pre-programmed manner, as it did every year.